Merry Christmas, everybody. We are going live across different streams right now. We're live on TikTok on Comic Con. We're live on TikTok over on our Kink Educator channel and platform. And I'm going to switch my chair actually. And we're live on our YouTube channel right now. I'm going to switch my chair so I have a better back support as my back is hurting. I waited till now. So I wanted to reach as many people as I could across the globe. I figured 1 p.m. was a good time. We're running just a little bit late because 1 p.m. Came and went. I'm having myself a bad day with my back. My back has actually not been feeling great today, and yesterday I've had like a headache. So I apologize if you guys see me squinting a lot. That's from the pain, but I'm up right. We're going to turn our YouTube. This is a simple concept. If I have my dates right, I would have gone live in 2018 for the first You're Not Alone, but I worked on a project called You're Not Alone, a comic book project, all the way back in 2016, and I really loved the concept of it. I had kind of trifled with doing a You're Not Alone, believe it or not, on Christmas of, it must have been 2000. No, the gray in the backgrounds. I mean, the blue in the background is kind of confusing on those screens. So in 2016, I had gone live as a comic book thing saying You're Not Alone. So I think in 2017, I kind of had that same concept. In 2018, during Valentine's Day, I turned it into a show itself. It was 2016, 17 when I went live around Christmas. I reminded that, and we had a You're Not Alone that lasted 200 days, something like that, in 2020. And it's the simple idea, and this will be whatever year it is. If you go by the fact that it was 2016 or the first time I really mentioned it, we're almost at 10 years. I would consider more 2018. Making this our 6th year on Christmas Day, we're coming to remind people that they are in fact not alone. And I'm going to let people share stories that they want, ask questions. It's weird where Christmas is because, especially if you don't have family to hang out with, if you're alone in a place and you're also, and we don't talk about this a lot, but it's there, it's the end of the year. So we're looking back on all the accomplishments, all the failures of the year, and we're kind of haunted with it. And it's hard. Life is not always easy. We'll be doing that right now in the next couple days. We'll start, well, what am I going to do next year, and the things we really want to do. I would love to lend my voice to more things, to be more active. The back injury, the lack of sleep at times, those all affect me and they frustrate me. The ADHD, the neurodivergent brain, it's all very frustrating. It's all very hard some days. Some days it's just harder days than the others. I suffer from, in full disclosure, not only am I neurodivergent, but I have depression, the more clinical depression, and ADHD, which comes with all of its little wonderful psychological terrors that can come with it. And I've always been different in my life. I've always been judged, and I have at many times felt alone, which is why I feel like this is so important being here. We're here on Christmas Day, and it's 1 o'clock in the East. It's 3 hours. That would be 10 in California. Alaska, Hawaii, I'm not exactly sure what times you guys are in, to be all fair, but I know in England it's 6 hours forward at 7 p.m. So we're here just to remind each other that we're not alone. Merry Christmas, everybody. Uh, uh, I don't know how to. I'm guessing Cindy, the domestic goddess, and I'm going to turn on the comments because I'm going to be reading all the comments today. You guys want to share a story? You want to ask me a question? If you don't know who I am, by the way, my name is Mr. Anderson. I'm on various channels right now. I'm on Facebook, as I have put it out there. I should have put this on Blue. I'm going to do that now. Um, if you don't know, Blue Sky is a new multimedia site. I'm kind of digging it, but I'm not getting a lot of traction there. It's kind of hard. Like anything else, we do our best, but in this day and age, we feel, and I know this is not just me, very lost because we're not even in a place right now in the world where we control our own reach. Like there was a time, and it's never been easy as a kink educator, by the way. It's always been very difficult. There are parts where it suddenly gets easier for like 10 minutes and then it goes back to some nonsense. So when I say this, understand I'm talking about as a comic book creator more than anything else. There were moments where it was easy to capitalize and get popularity. It is not the same anymore, thanks to algorithms, thanks to ad revenues. There's a lot of things that are suppressed. Facebook right now, I'm not actually on a Facebook Live. I mean, I could go get my laptop when you do a Facebook Live, actually, but I figured I would do one or two personal 10-minute Facebook Lives because that's really where the show started. So we will go there. Um, and this is just about, it's hard. It's hard right now in this world. Across the board, things just seem heavier. So I just wanted to remind everyone that we're still individuals, we're still human beings, and social media is a great way to connect with everybody. You're invited to follow me. You're invited to send me messages if you need to talk, if you want to talk. My messenger is always open. I I am, and I do see comments popping up. Don't worry, I'm gonna grab everyone's comments. There's a lot. We're gonna keep this general and to the comments from people. Remember, we have different channels. I just ask everyone be respectful. And let's get into it. If you guys want to share a Christmas story, if you want to ask a question, you want to talk about comic books, talk about light kink, we'll keep it light for the Kink Educator channel today, just because we will be in the area of vanilla people. So if you're going to ask me a question, um, I might defer to literally talk about it at a later time. I might write it down on my pad, and I might even ask you to send me a message because we want everyone to feel included right now. We want to make this an inclusive space where everybody is welcome. Oh my goodness. I just realized we don't even have the light on. Sorry, guys. I'm being a bad host. You guys are going to see lights go on there because I'm dealing with a bit of a migraine. Merry Christmas to me, right? My mind's a little off. So I didn't do the pre-check before the show. This is the first time we're streaming in a while on multiple platforms. I can't use StreamYard. I was debating going back to StreamYard. I love StreamYard, by the way. Got nothing negative to say about StreamYard. The problem is they don't work well with TikTok. So I'm not headed back there, even though most people have written off. Here, let's set the mood. And here, let me get rid of the background on the YouTube because it's not that kind of day, right? So let's get rid of the virtual background for today. We're gonna go with none, just in my house. It's my dinosaur back there. Those are the comic books I make. For those who are a little off screen, we're just pointing to the back. I didn't want this to be overly fancy. See, guys, just comics set up there. So, comic book creator. I still have a stuffed animal that's a dinosaur. It's important to me, given to me by my best friends. So let's set the mood, shall we? And just a water bottle and a receipt. I should really comb my hair again. So let's get into comments. Echo extra on. We should have done the crackling fireplace. Let me see. Let me see if I can set us a mood. Echo, can you play the sounds of a fireplace?
Thank you for using Sound of Fireplace. We hope you're sleeping better since you started using this skill. By the way, you might like our latest book, Sleep Better. Sound of Fireplace earns from qualifying purchases that you make while using this skill. Would you like to learn how to buy the book on Amazon?
No. I can't even get that to start. Echo Volume 8. Let's turn it up. All right. You guys maybe can't see the Christmas lights as much as I'd like. You can kind of see them. It's because the sun's still out. But it is what it is. Ooh, Echo. Turn red on. Did that work? There we go. We'll have a red door behind me like that. So let's get into some of these questions. And again, you can share anything you want. If I don't read it, some things get filtered. So either try to put it back in or just say, hey, one of my messages are missing. If there's something I have to not say because we're live on TikTok, I'll also let you know that, but I'll try to answer it as well. Over on Comic-Con, we don't have any messages. We do have a bunch of messages on Kink Educator. And we aren't going to be here for terribly long. I'm going to go until the conversation goes. And I like this being a YouTube video. Specifically where we went to YouTube is that if people couldn't join us live today, Echo, Volume 6. I feel like that's just a little too loud. Better. So we can't, if people couldn't have been here live, I'd rather them hear this and see us all sitting down as a reminder that we're not alone, especially with the internet, we're not alone. We just have to learn to come a little out of our shell and talk to people about what's going on. And Merry Christmas again from Sydney, the goddess, the domestic goddess, sorry. Merry Christmas from our friend Carmel. Seductive Tease says, I believe it's I am an educator too and own a Quinky friendly business. Well, that sounds very cool. I'm an educator as well and sell comics about that. Facebook. Oh, okay. And this is going to be from Seductive Tease, a couple comments. It's easy and it's hard for sure. Facebook is a joke. Oh, isn't that the truth, Seductive? Still fighting the good fight along with you. I appreciate the energy that you're putting in there. And we love on a normal day, I definitely would like Seductive Tease if you'd like to come on to the show. In our abilities with the TikTok. Sage, Merry Christmas, Sage. Sage is a guest on the show quite often and a great contributor. Where am I out of? I am out of the very edge of Southwest Florida. And again, we can talk about comics. We can talk about anything that's on any of your minds today. What kind of prep work do I need to make if I want to try? I believe you're saying pegging. I don't think pegging's that big of a thing. Not exactly sure this is the exact appropriate show for that. Xander. And I will say this. I'll give you something because it's Christmas. So here's your gift. To do something like that, you want to look into online. Just Google it. Just look up anal training. And there went the Comic-Con audience. But yes, that's it. And that's right. Tonight's the very first night of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah to all. I won't go any further than just to say Google anal training. But show back up to the show in the future. Ask the question on a night that's just about kink, and we're not all gathering to make sure no one feels alone on any day, then that'll be fine. We'll probably do one of these again around Valentine's Day, possibly, maybe even for New Year's. So stay tuned for another show like this. But again, we're going to try to keep this a little more tame than our normal ones, so we can reach as many people as we can. Well, it looks like Xander, you can check out Seductive Tease, because apparently Seductive Tease does a class on that. It's another great thing, being able to bring people together. So the Seductive Tea writes lots of lube and training kit for the butt. Usually they come in a set of 3. Angela says, "Wait, where am I?" Well, you're actually on the Kink Educator channel, but we're live on the Kink Educator channel. We're live on the Comic Con channel. We're live on our YouTube channel, where we've sent this out to both Facebook accounts I have. One is for me, Rob Anderson, Mr. Anderson, and the other one's Bobby Gregory, which does more for my advocacy and other things like that. The more popular I get, the harder and harder it is to separate the people. And as a matter of fact, it actually has become a little problematic sometimes, where to the point where I'm now going to be using different backgrounds. So yeah, try to be kinky and a comic book creator. Want to talk about male fashion and neurodivergency and dieting on an app, and sometimes your content goes across to different streams. Like, I'm on a lot of the sides of TikTok, so sorry if you know me from somewhere else and you joined because you expected something different. I can't change the face, but today we're giving out free hugs and specs. Seductive Tease, you have a new follower. Xander Cruz says, "Gotcha, thanks." Seductive Tease says, "That's my episode." I'm not sure what "that's my episode" was. Should give you insight. Oh, I think that Seductive Tease probably sent something over. So that's awesome. So what do you guys like? What do you guys want to talk about? We might actually turn off on Comic-Con right now, because we're not seeing a great deal of followers there. We're going to keep up with the YouTube channel. Oh, goodness. I'm checking it out. We can talk about anything, but I also don't want dead air, because we are recording this for the YouTube channel. So speaking of that, since we're here and it's Christmas, maybe I'll pull out my comics and you guys can tell me if you want me to read you something from one of these comic books. Why not, right? So let's go over some of the things I have. We have the original release of Barbara Unleashed. The beginning of it's pretty tame, so we could even do it on the comic books. It sets up more the idea of what it is to be a human being with a fetish versus being just a doll or a prop for kink and fetishes. This is the Advocator. Has different little mini stories. This one has Manny the Wolf, which is a character I do. Reapers, story about Grim Reapers. Belial, which is about an imp from hell. And Belial himself, who runs hell. The Dead Kingdom, the Chimp with the Brown Hat, and the Zombieful World of Oz. This is the Desire Index, which I doubt anyone wants me to read stuff from that. It's more of a personal take it on. So this is the most recent release of Barbara Unleashed, and this is the second issue, Aftermath, which picks up where we leave off after the first issue. Then we have Mentor Search, which I'm trying to, well, let me see. I think I'm not even sure what I can, there we go. I think that's as much of the cover as I can show. So if you guys want me to tell you more about a book, read the book, read a passage for the book, let me know. This is Heroics, which actually had the first release of Heroing by the Hour. It had Gothic Blue, which was actually a Christmas story at one point. This actually leads into a Blue Christmas. This is what happens that leads to her, actually, if you've read it. I don't have the Blue Christmas in front of me, so that was an interesting one. I actually have a Christmas story. And They Call Us Monsters turned the universal classic monsters into human beings with genetic disorders, and it was Hollywood who were the monsters for making the monsters on the silver screen for gold coins. Cat Dad and Supermom, teaching morals with farts. This is actually a story about my autistic son Jax, and how he navigates the world and figures out how to interact with it when he escapes into the dream world and explores the options, and his parents, which would be me, become superheroes. This is Cat Dad and Supermom. This is what got my autistic little boy to stop ripping up comic books. It's called Jax, What Makes a Superhero. Originally released as Jax the Anderson, but it's definitely a younger reader book. It'll be something that I probably reproduce next year. Trying to see what else I got in front of me. We do have a Wolf and Fox. Here it is. A divorced duo of crime fighters forced to work with each other after the divorce. Despite wanting to tear into each other, they're learning how to work together to co-parent the city they both love, named Jax. And Eclipse, while one of the few books I've worked on where there weren't characters I specifically created, but gave a backstory to and filled in the blanks for a fellow creator and someone I work with a lot, great artist, Mike Seeley. So that is what I got for you guys right now. Anyone want to know anything more about any of those books, let me know. We have about 8 minutes, so I have a rule. I try to make videos when I go live, unless I state otherwise, for 30 minutes. I want to give people the opportunity to join us, to be part of this. But it is certainly hard, especially now if you're an independent creator and you're trying to get noticed. If you have an idea, a fashion brand, especially as we're on TikTok on 2 of the channels, to realize that we are also facing the fact that we might not have TikTok in less than a month. I don't think that's going to happen personally. I think something is going to save it. It's going to get pushed off, or it's going to get sold in the next few days. But you never know. TikTok having done something with Lemonade definitely points in a direction that they have a backup plan to stay in the American audience. There's no way that they can move over or migrate all of the videos that we had onto the other platform. And for those who are joining us, I see the numbers go up and down every so often. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. We're definitely going to be looking towards a year full of TikTok next year. I don't see it going away. You ever have a migraine and you don't remember whether or not you took the Advil? Thing I'm discovering right now, I did not take that Advil. Just looking to see if we have any comments anywhere. I'm not sure if we're getting Facebook comments. I'm going to quickly look. Let me just take a look at something. No, doesn't look like. It is a holiday. It is Christmas. We went midday just to make sure everyone felt recognized. And there's some great. There's actually a great picture of the meal I made. If you're on my Facebook, you'll see the memory popping up now. Made a beautiful. When year was this? So this was last year. So I made a beautiful vegan lasagna. So, because being a co-parent, Carmela, you're welcome. I take Midol for migraines. I get that. I don't think my doll would work the same on me. I'm not totally sure. Audie, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Exactly. But I made a good vegan one. I have my son every other year. This is not a year I have him. Seeing some friends celebrating. Just looking through the Christmas stuff. Specs Thomas, a creator, put on something I thought was funny, and I'll share it with you guys. It's a meme where it says, "Girls, 1 year of friendship, 400 photos. Me and my bro, 10 years of friendship, one photo. Mom wanted a picture." It's really true. Guys, when they're together, a lot of times don't stop to take selfies with each other. Just the truth. I do with my friends, though. I'm not saying it doesn't happen a lot. Uh-oh. Ooh, Creature Commandos has gotten the thumbs up for season 2. That's awesome. All right, so I think we're just about done. I just want to make sure everyone feels good and any encouragement I could give. Apparently, there's a first look that was released for the Adam Sandler second movie. Sequel. He doesn't do a lot of sequels. I mean, he's done a few, but not a lot for Happy Gilmore 2. So that's your news today. I have been trying to make my way through. Now, if you didn't know, this is interesting for the comic book fans in the room, and I'm going to get back to comments in a second. They are saying that Jared Leto has now been cast as Skeletor. I don't know how much of the rest. No, it says this is, according to this, there's an official casting already. It'll be interesting to see if these actually pan out. I'm not 100% sure these are the people that are supposed to be. The He-Man's not even blonde. But I mean, you could dye a hair or give him a wig. They're saying there's a major death in Superman. Oh, this one I like. I see this every year. It's the Dinobots being oh no, Facebook went away. Oh well. Facebook's also been kind of a weirdo lately. With all of its stuff. All right, let's do some comments. What do we got? Carmelo said, "I appreciate you going live." We had said that before, but we're going to start there because it's where I think we left off. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Audie says, Angela says, "What town in?" I'm sorry, Angela. What town in Florida am I in? I'm in the Charlotte County area. I don't narrow it down to towns for reasons of being a parent and privacy, but I'm in that area, the Charlotte area, Charlotte County. I made vegan baked ziti the other night. It was so good. If you do vegan, what do you do for cheese? Do you do like a cheese alternative? I'm having coffee for the first time in a while. Can't wake up. Oh, I need coffee. That might be. I got to go out and meet up with my son. And I don't leave a lot of commentary about my son on this channel for various reasons, but it'll be nice to see him today. Angelina says, "Oh, nice." And nutritional yeast for cheese. Interesting. When it came to baked ziti and stuffed shells, I never really liked the regatta, so I'd be interesting to play around with that. Also curious in doing a vegan oatmeal cookie, which would require a banana to be done. So we have hit the 30-minute mark. I am going to say goodbye to all of our friends on the Comic Con channel. Hello, Whisper Poet. And I really hope you guys join us for future things and comic book stuff. We're going to stay live on YouTube. We're going to stay live on the Kink Educator. I'm just going to say goodbye to you guys on the Comic Con channel. If you want to follow us on YouTube or be part of the video on YouTube, feel free to go over to our channel, which we're currently live on YouTube, which is Anderson Creations. You can also find us right now live on Kink Educator. We're going to go visit our friends on Facebook and figure out the rest of my day from there. I do have my little kid coming home, and he'll get to get a surprise. When he wasn't home with me, one of the things I tried to do, knowing he wasn't going to be home for Christmas, is we gave him his gifts kind of spread out over the entire month, because kid gets all those gifts, they play with one or two of them for 5 minutes, probably really lock on to one or two, and I feel like the rest get thrown in a trunk somewhere. My son was playing with these toys for an entire week. It might be something I want to end up continuing going forward. And I always find it amazing. And I want to try to teach my son how not to be so consumer heavy, to not be a person who gets a lot of things. So I've wanted him to pick more, because he's also older now. He's going to be turning 10 in the new year. Shortly after we turn the clock, I turn the calendar over to the new one, and he's going to be 10. And like 10's a big year. Like, to think in 4 years from now, I don't need a babysitter. He's a teenager. 14, I was in New York City all by myself. New York City, though, like my sister, when she went to school, was already taking public transportation at 12. It's just a different life. But I think that all of you on the Comic Con channel, I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to talk more comics in the new year. I want to get engaged. I'm going to be genuinely me. After the last year, I love what we do on the Kink Educator. I found, like, when I was being the comic book advocate, I felt like a lot of times I was always trying to put my best foot forward. And I feel like, not that I was in any way disingenuous, but I feel like when the realer me, the more genuine me, the less polished me came out, people were very like, oh my God. Like, when we talked about my fetish books, it was like this disconnect where they expected me to, like, only be the advocate, and I can't be only the advocate. I'm so much more. So you're going to see a more genuine me all the time. The Kink Educator channel, of course, you guys hear my opinions, but you'll definitely see more of who I am as a flavor, the Mr. Anderson flavor. So I appreciate everyone who checked us out here on Comic-Con. We're going to go live on 2 of the Facebooks. Keep this party going. Remember, you're not alone. You're always just a message away from someone, including me, who will be there to listen and talk to you. Thank you for joining us. And Merry Christmas to all, and to all a great day. All right. I'm sad we didn't get more interactions there. We're going to head over to Britt over on our Kink Educator channel. Think Britt says, yeah, like half of the people on TikTok, they all got their kids so many freaking toys. It's overkill. You know what I feel bad about? I don't usually post what I get my son for Christmas. And I've overdone it with my son's Christmas, especially when he was autistic. And I made a conscious choice to really never show what was even under my Christmas tree, too much. Like if there were pictures of it, I didn't have all the gifts there. I didn't share videos of him opening because I know there's families every year struggling to get toys underneath the Christmas tree. I've had years like that where I didn't know. I remember there was this one year it was 2020. I had spent all my time on here. I had had financial issues because of the year that it was. It just, a lot of things went wrong in 2020. And I'd spent the whole year literally talking to other people, making sure they didn't feel alone. And I remember I was like coughing up blood sometimes because I was always doing a live. And towards the end of the year, I felt like I had failed my kid. I had gotten him just like two things that I could afford. And I felt like such a failure as a father. And as funny as this is going to sound, I did one scratch off game, one silly scratch off game. Probably couldn't have even afforded the ticket at that moment. Should have spent it on something else, but I guess I just needed a minute of hope. So I figured at most I'd win $10, and it was just a $2 ticket. So I was like, maybe I'll make $10, and if I lose, it's only $2, won't be the end of the world. That ticket won me $500, and I was able to get my son some things for Christmas. And this was like 3 or 4 days before the end of Christmas. I cannot tell you the joy that it felt, man. I wish I could at one point in my life at least help some people get that kind of joy. So we're definitely gonna try to continue to do this. I tried to do this last night. Actually, we did it as part of our Kink Educator channel. And I tried to do it on Comic-Con last night. And at the end of the Kink Educator thing, I was just not feeling well. The migraine took over. I felt so nauseous. And even today, my head's not completely right. But I passed out, so I felt bad. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go live over on this channel. Sorry, I'm just setting it up right now. You are not alone. I hate when it does that. You are not alone. You are not alone. There we go. It sometimes stupidly deletes itself. All right, let's try it. We're going live. Apparently, they've changed the Facebook interface. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special live. I don't go live very much on Facebook. You're joining us in the middle of we're 37 minutes into a You're Not Alive, You're Not Alone. I definitely the wrong word there. You are not alone on Christmas Day, and that's why we're here today. We are on YouTube. We just said goodbye to the Comic-Con audience, and we're getting some comments already. I'm going to let if there is a Facebook. Again, we haven't been getting a lot of Facebook energy, and I think that's everybody. So I'm not surprised if we won't be joined by too many people. We'll switch channels, but this is literally the channel right now that I'm on, the Facebook channel, where we started our first You're Not Alone. So I'm thrilled to invite everyone in. Hopefully some people can jump on. We're going to leave it out. The one good thing I like about Facebook is that you can instantly turn the lives straight into a video. So it's just my reminder. And Switch Kitten Kamor says, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And hopefully we're hitting people throughout the United States and the world. As a matter of fact, if you're watching right now, still part of this broadcast, just shout out where you're from. Let's all remind everyone how vast this is and how unalone everyone really is, and how many people are easily at their fingertips. As I said, we probably will be live for another 20 minutes. If we don't get any traction on Facebook, that's okay. We have one more Facebook account we will go to. Not sure what the rest of my day will bring, but I am sure that none of you are alone. I'm always just a message away from anyone. We have someone from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Charlotte County, Florida. broadcasting. And if you're wondering, why do I not sound like I've spent any time in Florida? That's because I spent the greatest part of my life, not greatest, but I meant like time wise, although it was pretty cool, growing up in New York City. So I sound like a New Yorker. That's why. I was also raised in a bilingual household, which means some of my words don't sound exactly the way you'd expect them. I seem to sound more like a New Yorker the angrier I get. Christina says, Greensville, Tennessee, happy holidays. To everyone celebrating tonight, Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. I am actually going to grab some Advil, if that's okay with everyone, and turn on the AC. I think the house is getting warm. Just want to cycle in some fresh air. And I'm back. This show is not brought to you by Advil, but relief from my migraine hopefully is brought to me by Advil. All right. I don't know if YouTube is broken. We haven't gotten a single view, but I love the Kink Educator channel. We already got 578 likes. I have just enough time for a nap before I got to pick up my kiddo. So we're at 41 minutes. We don't have to stay till an hour. So I think what I'm going to do here is I might wrap up our YouTube and then go exclusively just to the other social medias. I wanted to say that if you're feeling very lonely, that you're not alone. A lot of people feel this way at different parts of their lives or just times of the year. There's always the potential for better to come tomorrow, and you have to hold on to that. There are people you haven't met in your life yet that are going to make your life so much more wonderful and better. You just got to hang on to get there. Believe that tomorrow is going to be your friend, and that there are opportunities you didn't get today and yesterday coming to you in the future. Hang tight. If you need to talk, find me, find all the other people willing to hear your voice. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and maybe we'll go live on right before New Year's. Just another reminder that you're not alone. You're just a message away from someone who cares, including me. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. All right.